Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Cedric here, CRWC commentary. I'll be answering viewers and giving some. Last night, I had a thought about AEW, why it is what it is, and why it's not going to get any better. It's just not. Um, First, after my comments on why Tony Khan, he's just a weak little bully bitch of a guy. Here's a comment. And the commenter, he says the only thing Tony and the owners of WWE have in common is pettiness. Oh, and yes, there is a stark difference between the two. There is, but they got that in. Oh, yes, they're wearing the same underwear on that one. Both sides are both bloody petty right now. Tony is being especially petty and is just pathetic. It is, yes. I can't pick on you, so I'm going to pick on this guy. Meaningless, meaningless. When he could have just said, this is business. And we all got to survive. We all got to thrive. Whoo. So, and he says, after all these years, Tony has not learned a bloody thing or shown any growth. I honestly believe AEW would be better off without Tony, but that day may never come and the roster will have to continue to put up with his BS. Billy, Corgan that is no better. He wasted so many opportunities to rebuild NWA, but like Tony, he F everything up. I do not like Nick Khan. That's the see. I'm glad you. Because I could not think of it yesterday. He said, I do not like Nick Khan or anyone on the TKO board, but he isn't wrong about Tony. Tony is a bloody child. My 7-year old niece is more mature than him. And I forgot to do that. Click that like heart. Okay, so you just computer gonna crap out. Okay, there we go. There we go. Put a little one beside it. Can't disagree with any of that. All of that makes sense. And it's true. Yes, both sides are petty. Both sides are immature in terms of business and handling of it. Now, here's the thing. Tony Khan just oh man. I, I get everyone has their own level of stupid. We all do. I know I got mine. What I don't like are the people that run up to somebody barking like a big dog, not realizing that they're only an eighth of the size, and then get swatted at, and they run away and then circle around and keep barking. That's Tony Khan. The littlest dog, if they put their potential right, they are the strongest dog in the fight. They're not the biggest dog, they're the strongest dog. Tony Khan came in, and the first thing he did was what? He went right after WWE competition. We're going to blow him out the water, yada, yada, yada. All that stuff. And then when he realized what he was truly up against, he started talking about working with WWE. You can't beat them, join them. WWE is like, no, we got a different business model. See, WWF was just there. They existed, they dominated the Northeast, it was all good. Vince Jr. came in and he was like, instead of all this, we got control of the Northeast and we could just go anywhere we want and we could do global if we want, but we'll just keep our complete Northeast territory. No, we're going to gobble up all the other little wrestling territories in the United States. We're going to spread all the way across the north to the west. I remember the first time I heard them going to Oregon and then going back there again, and then some northern areas in California, and they slowly went down and then encroached into the Bible Belt. And after they encroached into the Bible Belt, by that time, that's when Eric Bischoff had started gaining control because NWA, WCW sort of split sort of thing and just didn't do so well. WCW was just hanging on. They needed some kind of resurgence. Nobody was really caring. They was all for the fanfare because Vince McMahon would give them a lot of the sizzle and some steak. WCW was coming off of all the steak but no sizzle. So they had a resurgence, the Monday Night Wars, and Vince was like, let me tell y'all something. Y'all would win if you were backed by a billionaire that cared about wrestling. Since Turner doesn't care about wrestling, guess what? And that's where we are today. Tony Khan, this is why AEW will never, ever be better than what it is. This is what people are not thinking about. And when you're in it, you're not seeing it. So take a step back, close your eyes, hear my words, and think about this. Tony Khan was recruited by and sort of recruited indie darlings. Not a bad strategy when you're trying to get your company off the ground. That's actually smart to get the indie darlings, but the position you put them in, that was the bad idea. However, the problem with the indie darlings, Omega, the Bucks, Nutella, and all that, or Janela, it's one of them, I don't know, Jim Cornette got me messed up on that. But a lot of them, they are they built their reputation by being the best innovators on the indie scene. Not moves, not so much a style. They cut out the parts of wrestling that people get vocally bored with. They get bored with the headlock, takedown, and control. They get control with positioning of a match. They get bored with control of the opponent and dominating the opponent that way. So it's predominant strikes, running and strikes, some suplex, some body slams, some, if not few, hip toss and headlock takeovers to set up the next knee drop, running leg drop, or pick them up and do something. Go back and forth with the strike exchange. So copy what it is from Japan's best areas, but not with the logic of it. The fans get bored so fast. It's ADHD or ADD, and I don't want to see that. I want to see this. Do this, do this, do this. I don't want to see a headlock. I don't want to see that stuff. That's boring. That's stupid. So Omega and the Young Bucks, move sequence, quick exchange, long strike exchange, fall out, let the people appreciate the moment that just happened, repeat 2 to 3 times a match to make the match as long as possible, exciting as possible, send them home happy. You go out there and you have fun putting on the show. That is exactly what proliferated on the indie scene. There's no rhyme, there's no reason, just move after move after move, get your sequence, get your thing down, and that's it. And that is what is AEW today. Tony Khan enjoyed that. Those people, the indie darlings, they had to survive and rise with that. They buttered their bread. They put the food on the table. They bought the bacon. They did all that with that style. That's what happened. And it's ingrained into them. Not that they can't change, they won't change. Tony Khan enjoyed that. Tony Khan, to be fair, he had a dream. He enjoyed his personal little federation that he had at home. And he's got the money. and he can finally do what he want to do, and it's his passion, it's his baby. This is him. He's got it. Didn't realize he couldn't control the names of the people, but he also looked up to wrestlers. Since Tony Khan looked up to wrestlers, he's going to, for the most part, give them what they want, but his company has to be ran the way he wanted ran. You could do your storylines, you can do all this, but this is my company, and it's going to be ran this way because this is what wrestling I like. And then he had a problem with what? Too many wrestlers. Now he's got to make a rotation. He made one rotation, but people were complaining that they won't get seen that much. So then he was like, you know what I did? I switched the rotation. He bragged about this. And he was like, yeah, they get on TV more. They yada, yada, yada. He bought Ring of Honor. And you saw what he did with that. So these people, these wrestlers, they are both, they are from the indies, because indies isn't really a style. Indie means it's not the main product. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of working parts. But by and large, the things you can see the most, Tony Khan is stuck. He is absolutely stuck where he is when it comes to running his show, kind of letting the wrestlers be who they are, but you're going to do the storyline I want you to do. And y'all can probably work out the match yourself, but I need this person to win because I have this in mind. That's a whole different kit and caboodle of stuff. The indie darlings for a storyline don't work. Not anymore. You can't call yourself poor when you're getting paid almost $1 million each a year. Or even collectively $500,000 a year. If you got it collectively and split it evenly. You can't call yourself poor. Not by a long shot. So this is why AEW can't rise. And what the major problem is that they share, which takes it back to the viewer's comment, is the pettiness. Because they both share a massive amount of pettiness. This means that they are mismanaging wholeheartedly people's lives. WWE gives opportunities, and that's true. But so long as there's the ability to politic, to get what you want or hurt somebody else, so long as that is there, it will never be a legitimate wrestling company. Because it's one thing for the fans to know it's a work in the ring, but then when it's a work backstage to bury somebody else and destroy their potential, success in the company and improve their livelihood, it's bad enough you got to be away from your family and can't do much, but then somebody's going to sabotage the ability to do it. It's that makes it fake. Like, Mr. Anderson, Ken Anderson, Kenny Anderson, whichever name you want to go by, as good as he was and as popular as he was getting, and he was starting to get really over, Triple H buried him. Things like that. Take away his intro, take away his music, change the music up a little bit, have him walk to the ring with nothing, he loses all the fanfare. That would be like having LA Knight no longer talk and then have no more ring entrance gear, change his music to something weak, and then have him walk out and wrestle his style of match. It's going to fall off. It's going away. Both petty sides not only give the ability and the chance for people to make money, support, and or gain a family, but they're also ruining it. This is literally, I bought you a house, but you can't furnish it, and you can only pay half of it off, and you're going to just have to deal with that. Or I got you your own property. I gave you enough money to build a home, but I'm going to make sure that you can't rise enough to succeed in building that home. But you got potential. You can buy some pieces here and there, but it's never going to be enough. And then you got people that get in there, make all the money, build a home or two or three, and spend the rest of their career burying others. And those are the ones that should be kicked out. I don't care how good they are. I don't care what merchandise it is. But people, to be honest, like Jim Cornette and others, they don't care how toxic you are. They don't care who you hurt. So long as you bringing in the money. Nia Jax, as much as a lot of people don't like her, those same people, not the viewers and the fans, people that were in the wrestling business would say if she was bringing in millions of dollars worth of merchandise and she was over in the ring, they would say she is more important than the people that's actually trying and care about others and want the business to succeed, no matter who she hurts, no matter who she politics into wrestling poverty. And allowing that toxicity is what damages a company. Granted, there's a lot of toxic people that they help push a company into a higher stratosphere when it comes to making money potential and whatnot. But they could have been nipped in the bud and shut down and said, you good, you bringing in money, but you need to shut your mouth. And you need to stop that before you get a pay decrease and ring increase. You're going to get paid less and work more. They can do that. When it comes to a company, they can do whatever they want like that. So the indie scene, the indie vibe, the indie mind, AEW is not going to change. So therefore, they only got the common denominator of fans, the lowest people. And even they, ADD, ADHD, or just in general, people that just get bored quick, you can't sustain that for so long because they're going to say, I already seen this. I already seen them do this. Or I know this person's going to lose and they should be winning. I don't care to see this match. Oh, look at this tag team. They were great, but now they're not. They dumb. They suck. Because the fans will kayfabe themselves. Oh, we know it's a work, but they're not winning, so they suck. We don't care to watch them anymore. They're not going to blame Tony Khan. They're going to blame the tag team. And then when they do blame Tony Khan, and it sucks because I'm right there with you. All you can do is blame him and you can't do anything else. It's your fault, Tony. And he's like, nope, we're doing great. And yet, even though you're mad, you're tuning in to watch them. My solution, if you pay to watch on like satellite or cable or something like that, where they can track everything, just watch it online. There's many free places to watch this wrestling online. You can watch it without giving the company the view, even though the whole new system of viewership has altered that crap. But you get to listen or watch it, do something else like I do, while it plays in the background, and you get to hear what's going on. If you have questions on my thoughts on particular things of AEW or WWE, go ahead and ask them. It's all good. I will certainly answer them. But right now, it's so cold. I'm starting to shiver. So this is Cedric for CRWC commentary on answering viewers and commentary on the state of AEW. And want y'all to be cool, be chill, be safe. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, all that jazz, so I can see you next time.